Last time on Improv Tabletop, we found ourselves inhabiting the shoes of a young stowaway who woke up after many months in stasis, stowed away into the cargo hold of the RSS Radiant, a Royal-class transport ship that was supposed to be taking us somewhere, but goodness gracious, who knows what's happened? The crew is all unconscious, none of them are active, it's gone really far off course. During the events of the previous episode, we met a strange individual that looked like Commander Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation. He gave us some instructions that we didn't feel great about. We're not sure how we feel about this authority figure, but broadly speaking, we don't like him because he's an authority figure. Other things that we did, we got lured in by the call of 1,000,000 space burgers that ended up not being true. We dodged a kitchen drone that tried to kill us. We flew at high speed into the docking bay of the origin port of the RSS Radiant, and at one point we saved ourselves from flying into a black hole by becoming the captain and taking over this ship for ourselves. So, what's going to happen in this next episode? What's going to happen that caused me to decide that this is now going to be one of my favorite books of all time moving forward? Let's find out here in the world of The Stowaway. All right, so we became the captain of our own fate. Now let's go back a couple times in our decision tree. The next decision point is to take shelter in the walk-in freezer or to make a mad dash for the galley. Do we want to try sheltering in the freezer or do we want to go back further?
I think we go back to the initial him telling us to do the thing, and then we do the thing.
I think so, yeah.
All right.
I think it's Riker.
Yeah.
Something about Riker we gotta resolve.
Yeah, let's follow the hot guy from the beginning.
Yeah.
Be our guiding light, hot guy.
We're not going to listen to our stomach telling us that there's 1,000,000 space burgers in the galley because there's not 1,000,000 space burgers in the galley.
Even though there should be.
All right, so we're going to start heading towards the substation instead. In for a penny, in for a pound. You take off in a sprint towards the security substation, no longer concerned with timing your movements to the sirens. That ship's done sailed. You skid to a halt, catching a glimpse of the incoming monitor drone through the glass walls of the compartment. You've made it with seconds to spare. All you need to do is get inside, take cover under a desk, and the door's locked.
Oh, boy.
You're not sure why you didn't consider the possibility that the security room would be, well, secure.
I have a code.
Oh, we have a code. You peer in through this transparent door, hoping your fellow stowaway has already crawled his way into the room to grant you access. No such luck. With the speed of a frontier gunslinger, you withdraw your OptiPad from your satchel and slam its retractable output jack into the door's keycard scanner. You'd built the device for this exact scenario. It senses a lock and automatically runs its code cracking software without delay. This kind of brute force decryption is unlikely to go unnoticed by the ship's defenses, but it's a little late to start worrying about that now. The monitor drone has found you. If you were to rank the lethality of automated security units, monitor drones would be pretty close to the bottom. As a rule, shipborne drones don't wield projectile weaponry. A wayward bullet could punch through the hull and cause some truly catastrophic damage. Monitor drones are scouts by nature. If they determine you to be a threat, they're more likely to call in the big dogs, like sentinels, which are no joke, than intervene directly. Some monitor drones, however, do possess non-lethal methods of incapacitating an attacker. The drone that has spotted you, for instance, extends a long needle from its underside.
Oh,
Love that. Wonderful. Great. Love it.
shoot me with a gun. Give me the gun. A needle?
You don't know what would happen if you got poked with that needle, and you don't particularly feel like finding out. Accurate. The drone hovers downward, lining up with your center mass, and begins its approach. You consider fleeing, but you're certain this monitor drone could outrun you. Besides, if you can get into the security substation, your OptiPad is a little more than halfway through the lock, you notice. You could disable whatever backup bots this drone has almost certainly already called. Looks like a roundhouse kick to the drone's dome might be just what the situation calls for.
Oh, yeah, let's roundhouse this baby.
That's another sentence I can just hear Griffin McElroy say. Throne's dome.
You've never received, formal roundhouse kick training, but it's just so small. A nice swift punt might wreck this bot's entire shop.
Oh, yeah.
This is peak Griffin.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
Then again, you do have a backup plan ready to deploy in this exact scenario. Your dormant obliteration grenade. Threatening to blow a hole in the side of the RSS Radiant would probably be enough to buy yourself a few moments of hesitation, assuming the drone wouldn't detect the fact that the grenade is essentially a paperweight. So, Do we pull out our dormant hand grenade to bluff our way out of the situation, or do we roundhouse kick the little drone right out of the sky?
I want to roundhouse.
I want to roundhouse kick it. Yeah.
I want to kick. I want to be Leon Scott Kennedy.
I don't know how you bluff a drone anyway.
Yeah.
I was going to say I probably wouldn't buy it.
All right. As your foot sails through the air toward the chassis of this floating monitor drone, you recall a formative event in your younger, foolhardier days.
Flashback.
You were hiking the pines with your friends. One of them came across an old helmet, probably dropped by some local militia recruit running a training exercise. You thought it would look really cool and funny if you ran up and kicked that helmet between the boughs of a nearby fir tree. You attempted to do so, dramatically underestimating the weight and hardness of the helmet, which, as it turns out, was plated with thick armored panels. You spent that summer nursing a broken foot. It was the stupidest thing you've ever done until now.
Oh, no.
Is that a Lord of the Rings reference?
Oh my gosh, Viggo Mortensen kicking the helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ah!
I think Griffin knows that kind of esoterica about geekery. I think that might actually be a legitimate reference.
Yeah, okay.
The monitor drone is small, yes. It is also made of titanium alloy and suspended firmly in the air with powerful gravity emitters. It is hard, and it is heavy, and it doesn't budge as your foot connects with it. You land in a heap.
Dang it.
You feel the prick of the drone's needle in your shoulder and immediately begin to lose consciousness, which, considering the state of your ruined foot bones, is honestly not the worst thing that could be happening to you right now.
right.
The end.
All right.
Dang it, we got the broken foot ending.
Yeah,
All right.
we were supposed to shoot the drone in the knee first and then roundhouse kick it.
Yeah.
And then
Stun and
Yep.
then melee.
Classic mistake.
Hey, we're still learning.
All right, so the only other option in this tree is to try and bluff our way out with the hand grenade. Should we give that a shot?
I kind of want to.
All right, so we draw the obliteration grenade from our satchel, holding it firmly in front of us with our finger on what we think is the activation pin. You can't stop your hand from trembling, but the gambit seems to have worked. The monitor drone has stopped its approach. It seems to be sizing you up and carefully considering how to respond to the situation. It's taking its sweet time. A ship's drones are meant to be networked to the AI core, which would have clocked the fake grenade and trembling hand and moved in immediately. As the monitor drone floats away quickly, you come to the conclusion that these drones are being controlled by a remote operator and probably a human one. That's great news. In your experience, human beings are way easier to trick than computers. Your Optipad chimes. You release it from the keypad and stow it alongside your grenade and hustle into the security substation before reinforcements arrive. If the hallway outside was a mess, this room is a disaster. File cabinets have been overturned, spilling their contents all over the floor. A long rectangular table has been pushed over near a desk, creating something of a foxhole. A disruptor staff, a common weapon for a royal officer designed to neutralize mechanical threats, has been dropped nearby. Energy scoring along the wall suggests someone, likely an unfortunate royal security officer, made a final stand against the bots here.
Man.
The manifest didn't find any crew aboard. You conclude that Team Robot took home the win.
Oof.
You climb over the makeshift barricade toward the desk and find a computer terminal that seems to have survived the battle. It's online and a user is still logged in. That's a pretty flagrant breach of security protocol, but given the circumstances, you think that, good, you made it, the other stowaway says, sending you leaping from your skin for the second time today.
Ah, Vent Man.
You fall backward into the desk as you wheel around to face the elder stowaway, who definitely wasn't in here just a minute ago. You briefly wonder if he's a ghost, and this is a ghost ship.
There it is. There it is.
There it is. We clocked it from so far away.
He's a ghost.
Yeah,
Called it from the half court.
because the book says there's no way he could have dropped into the room through the vents without you hearing it. This is a space ghost, coast to coast. I timed your movements to the sirens, he says, as if responding to your internal monologue. You're the one who gave me the idea. Saw you doing it in the corridor. Clever kid. Again, you cringe reflexively. You're young, sure, but the sheer volume of hardships you've endured makes those kinds of remarks feel real dismissive. Your impulse is to grill this condescending stranger, but you decide that can wait. You need to figure out how to shut down the Radiant security systems before the next wave of drones arrive. You turn to the terminal and begin familiarizing yourself with its user interface. You see shortcuts to access various helpful commands, most of which are inaccessible without AI support. You do manage to turn off the sirens. You look at the other stowaway hoping for a nod of gratitude. You do not get one. Okay, come on. Come on, Space Ghost.
Rude. Give us something, Ghost Man.
Yeah, Brack would have given us a nod.
Yeah, and then some. He would have said something quippy.
Yeah, he would have sung about beans and being on the street.
Yeah.
There, at the bottom of the list, is a shortcut labeled Automated Systems Override. You drag the cursor toward the command, But then you notice another available option right above, labeled Transit Log Classified. Okay.
There, that one.
Let's
This
go.
is the meaty stuff.
Time for some secrets.
You open the transit log, budgeting 30 seconds to read it before you go back to shutting down the drones. Something wild happened on board the ship while you slept. You intend to find out what. You get about a quarter of the way into the logs before you realize what you're reading. This isn't a ghost ship, but it's a ghost flight, which is in many ways more of a problem for you at the moment. Great effort has been made to keep this voyage a secret. There's no registration with its port of departure or entry, and as far as you can tell, it's even been severed from the entire Royal Galaxy-wide network. That would explain why nobody came to intervene as the ship sailed 3 months off course. There's a reason for all the secrecy, the reduced staffing, the luxurious decor. You assume it's the same reason why someone or something is going to great lengths to try to sabotage the journey. There's an astral somewhere on board the RSS Radiant. Okay.
It's us.
I wonder who.
We forgot.
It's either us or Captain Sexy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so yes, there was a reason why the drones weren't noticing him. It's because he was playing Jedi mind tricks on them. When diplomats from the Kingdom and Revolt sat down to try to bring an end to the Great Galactic War, one of the first things they agreed on was that the Astrals just had to go. Astrals are humans who, for reasons nobody can quite explain, have untethered their consciousnesses from their physical forms. Most of us wake up in our body, go about our day, and go to sleep in that same body. An astral has options. They're not stuck wherever they're standing or whenever they're standing. They can go on little strolls through space and time, explore distant lands and potential futures, and go to bed in whatever body they want. The few dozen known astrals across the galaxy found themselves divided in the interstellar war. Some aligned with the totalitarian future of the Kingdom, others for the liberated future of the Revolt. They led armies on both sides against one another in a horrific war of attrition, locked in a psychic stalemate, endlessly predicting and viciously countering each other's movements as their armies dwindled. This, understandably, annoyed everyone, regardless of their allegiance in the war. When the Royals and the Revolutionaries drew up a peace treaty, they eagerly agreed to a disarmament, in a sense, of their astral forces. That's a gentle way of saying all the astrals on both sides of the aisle were captured and launched into the nearest black hole. Ooh boy.
Okay.
Wow.
Were we on a rescue mission?
I think it was a disposal trip, maybe.
Oh, no, I mean, we're at a black hole.
Yeah.
I guess in this tangent, we don't know that, but...
So either we're on a disposal mission to get this rogue astral into the black hole, or we're trying to find a way across the event horizon without getting spaghettified to find the other astrals.
yes.
Spagat. I believe it's Spagat.
Spagat.
Thank you.
Yes.
Get spagat.
Get spagat, you astral. Okay. So, first of all, loving the world building that Griffin's come up here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is cool. I want this on Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah.
And the attitude about it feels very Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, Griffin McElroy, if you're listening to this, one, you're the smartest of the McElroy brothers. That has been established.
Of course.
Also, write more books in this universe, because this is good stuff.
Or else.
So, the Peacemaker's assumption, they later explained, was that nothing escapes a black hole, not even the projected consciousness of a psychic war criminal. Well, clearly, that's not true, because this ship's transporting one of those psychic war criminals.
Yep.
Also, you spent way longer than 30 seconds reading this. The drones are back. Oh, man.
No.
You hear them before you see them. You turn as the sound of the metallic banging echoes from the ductwork overhead. You see a dozen blinking lights appear behind the vent cover, which the other stowaway, who seems to have gone into hiding while you were captivated by the logs, fortunately closed behind him.
He's gotta be an astral.
I mean, he's moving without being heard. He's speaking without being heard. It's gotta be him.
It's gotta be him.
He's gotta be the guy.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
And he's hot.
Okay, prediction. Here's what happened. This guy, he's not a stowaway per se, but he's not supposed to be awake. He was being sent to be disposed in the black hole. He woke himself up, and now he's trying to get into the black hole to bring everybody else back. Prediction. That's the prediction.
Yeah. I think he may be in a crew member's body. I don't know.
Oh,
I think-
that's right.
Don't know.
I think he one by one went into a crew member's body, put them in stasis, went to another body, and is just slowly packing them away safely and kindly.
Could be.
I don't know his plan to get everyone home. Like, why not just kill them all? I don't know. Maybe you can't do that.
If he's trying to reason that the astrals should be taken back out of the black hole, killing a bunch of royals would be a bad way of going about that.
Probably not the most persuasive argument.
Or Or he is trying to rescue his buddies, and he needs a bunch of meat sacks for his friends to stow away onto.
Yeah.
That's the stowaway. We're not the stowaway. The stowaway is going to be these bodies.
Yeah.
The stowaway are all the astral people.
Okay, this is the first time I've been like legitimately excited about where a Choose Your Own Adventure book is going to go.
This is so good. This is so good.
Actually intriguing.
Okay, so we can hear the banging of the drones. We've got mere moments before they break through. You close the transit logs and select the automated systems override option to shut down the drones. Oh no, it's asking you to input a password. You start to panic and your mind begins to work very, very fast. You don't have time to mount your Optipad to the terminal and wait out the decryption software. To shut down those drones before they reach you, you'd have to guess the password. It's 5 digits.
Oh,
so you've got a 1 in 100,000 chance of getting it, which isn't 2. Oh, wait. Sorry, 5 alphanumeric digits, numbers and letters. That's like a 1 in 916 million chance. That's significantly worse.
We got it.
Or it would be if we didn't have astral powers as the readers.
Surprise! The long chrome prongs of the disruptor staff catch your eye from the ground. You could grab it and crawl into the foxhole, then disable the drones as they breach the room. That strategy clearly didn't work for the security officer, and you also have no idea how to operate a disruptor staff, but your other option is a 1 in 916 million chance of success, so maybe this one's the way to go. So do we attempt to guess the passcode, or grab the nearby disruptor and attempt to take out the drones?
I am tempted to guess because we have it.
Yeah,
But I don't know if that matters like it would in like our Sonic the Hedgehog Choose Your Owns.
Yeah, because in the linearity of this particular route of the decision tree, we're not supposed to know the secret password.
Yeah, we don't actually have it.
I'm so intrigued to see where it would lead us, though.
Yeah, I wonder if it like acknowledges our save scum. Like,
Yeah.
I know what you did tutorial type stuff.
I want to see that. I want to see if there's something about like somehow in another life, in another version, you learned from a book.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Go to page 89.
Awesome.
Time seems to slow down as you step up to the keyboard. The swarm of drones extend their needles and begin their approach. The other stowaway cranes his neck, watching intently over your shoulder. He must think you've lost your mind, and it's hard to blame him given the astronomically low odds of guessing correctly. But this stowaway doesn't know what you're capable of. He doesn't know your reputation back on chorus. You are untouchable. Your intuition has gotten you through more scrapes than you can count. It has never failed you. When faced with danger, you're always able to find the safest path through. You're not out of your mind. Right now, in this moment, you're in your element. You enter the passcode. To guess 15132, turn to this page. To guess 78X1M, turn to this page. To guess password, turn to page 40. Or to guess 4D342, turn to page 31.
That's it.
That's the one.
it. Oh, this is so cool.
All right, page 31.
So cool.
Your fingers dance across the keyboard, confidently inputting 4D342 before hitting the return key. The drones swoop down ready to strike, and then they freeze in midair, gently lower to the ground, and simultaneously deactivate.
No way. I am so glad this was like the solution.
So this is the way.
That's so
This
cool.
is the way.
We're the astral. We're an astral something.
Yeah.
As a mechanic for a choose your own adventure, that's brilliant.
Hugely cool.
That's brilliant.
Oh, man. Okay, so for a moment, the room is still. Then the other stowaway breaks the silence. How? You interpret that to mean, how did you know the password to shut down the automated security systems on this royal warship? Which is a fair question. You catch your breath and explain. You found the crew of the Radiant hidden away in the galley's deep freezer and recovered the security officer's notebook, which had the password written on the front page. The other stowaway stares at you, stock still, temporarily shocked into silence. And as you realize why he's staring at you so intently, you feel a sudden tightening in your brain, as if it were bound with twine, pulled tighter and tighter until something snaps. You couldn't have found the password in the galley's deep freezer because you didn't go into the galley. You just remembered something that never happened. The final few pieces of a puzzle you've been unknowingly solving your entire life begin falling into place.
This is so cool. This is awesome.
Oh, man.
Okay.
The brushes with danger, the near misses, the narrowly avoided pitfalls, all of it, you've always attributed them to your keen intuition. But what if your knack for evading trouble was more than just good, educated guesswork? What if you were able to avoid those negative outcomes because you could actually see them?
Oh my gosh.
You realize you've been doing exactly that all day long, ever since you woke up in your stasis sack, tucked away in that cramped, cold engineering compartment. Every time you've made a vital decision during your exploration of the ship, you've been able to observe each outcome, free to reverse course whenever you reach the end of a path. Every time you've reached a fork in the road, you've gone both ways and then settled on whichever route turns out better for you. That's why you could remember finding the passcode in the galley. You did go there in another timeline.
This is so cool.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to throw up.
Has any other Choose Your Own Adventure book rewarded you for breaking the rules?
Not that I've seen.
That's
Griffin has mechanized the metagaming nature of playing a Choose Your Own Adventure book.
I was so hoping that was going to be what happened, and here we are. This is
Oh my
delightful.
goodness.
that's awesome.
Okay.
So cool.
Your mind reels, exhausted from the sheer volume of epiphany it's experiencing, but you feel one last breakthrough bubbling at the surface, yearning to make itself known. It's the only explanation for why you're able to do this. The reason why you can lay out the web of potential futures before you like an open book.
We're the Astro.
The realization will change everything. You're not 100% confident your psyche can handle that at the moment. Do we confront this realization head on, or do we reject the truth of our reality? React reality, embrace Monkey.
Can we go back to Monkey, please?
I mean, part of me kind of wants to we know what's happening here.
Yeah.
But I do kind of want to ignorantly go down the wrong path just for fun.
Yeah, I want to see what rejecting reality
Let's
looks
go
like.
back to Monkey for a minute.
Yeah,
See what happens there.
Yeah, Griffin has given us explicit permission to just stick our finger in the pages and come back to this later.
100%.
So
Let's
deny the truth. You're not ready. Your perception of reality would change forever if you allow this thought to take shape, and you've simply got too much on your plate right now. You need to distract yourself, to find some way to drown out the realization by concentrating on something less revelatory. You kneel, reaching into your satchel, and retrieve your Optipad. You frantically scroll through your media library, perusing your favorite entertainment programs. We're just going to open up Taskmaster.
Save me, Taskmaster.
Save me, Greg Davies. Only you and your banter with Sam Campbell can save me from the reality, the trauma.
Can't handle being an astral being? Turn into a full-blown iPad kid.
Oh, man.
Hysterical.
The other stowaway looks at you quizzically as you load up an episode of Star Blaster 7, holding the screen inches from your face as you hung along with the opening theme. But it's not working. The truth is too determined to reveal itself.
Yeah.
A small, brave part of you is eager to step into the light, desperate for acknowledgement. It's getting harder and harder to deny that impulse. You drop the Optipad with a clatter and shut your eyes tight. Your mind races through the choices that brought you to this moment of unwelcome enlightenment. If you hadn't come here, hadn't been forced to search for that password across those unlived futures, you could have remained blissfully ignorant. You wish you'd chosen differently. You wish you had found some other, less enlightening way off the ship. You wish you could just start over. The end.
Whoa. That's cool. I don't want the truth. New game. Go.
Wow.
We just implode. We mentally implode.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay, so shall we go back and accept the reality of our situation?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's do.
Let's face the music.
All right, facing the truth. You permit the words to form in your mind. They assemble a thought, and the thought hits you with concussive force. You are an astral. Your consciousness starts to expand beyond a point you know how to control, sending you into a dreamlike trance. You begin to witness so many potential futures and alternate pasts that you start to lose your foothold in the actual present. Your mind is starting to shut down some of your higher cognitive functions to compensate. For example, your language processing centers, those are gone. The other stowaway, after staring at you for a solid minute, gawking as though you've just sprouted a second head, said something you couldn't quite understand. His tone was gentle and reassuring, though, which was nice. He wants to help you, you think. You follow him through the crew corridor in a fugue. You pass a few bulkhead doors, gingerly stepping over a good half-dozen deactivated security drones along the way. Oh, right. In all the commotion, you'd forgotten you'd done that. So, are you safe now? Did you win? An automatic door at the end of the hall opens as you approach, and you step into a lavishly decorated stateroom, furnished with antique wooden furniture in the same old astral banners you clocked earlier in the hall. It's a strange contrast to the rest of the ship, all bare bones and military functional. There's no bed, just a single stasis sack, considerably fancier and more comfortable than your own, positioned in the center of the room, containing an occupant you can't quite make out through its frosted window. You envy whoever's in there. A few long months of turbo sleep would go down real smooth right about now. The mere thought of sweet unconsciousness is too tempting for your exhausted body to deny. Your knees buckle and you begin to collapse. You aim your feint vaguely in the direction of the other stowaway, hoping he might catch you or at the very least cushion your fall. Instead, you pass right through him.
Okay, so he's not there.
I'm just trying to speculate who he is or what he is. Is he us?
Oh, wait, no, it's Zach Braff and Ethan Hutcherson. Just like I said earlier, it's actually happening.
Future us.
It's future us?
This incredibly attractive man is us after we have reached our full potential.
Oh, yeah, because we can step out of time.
We're incredibly attractive.
Yeah.
Nobody ever believed me.
Okay.
Okay, I think future us, having seen all of the difficulty of what it's like to come to grips with being an astral, was like, I need to usher myself into this easily and slowly.
Yeah.
I think that is why he was trying to hide as another stowaway.
Yeah.
Cool.
I should have known from the start, the other stowaway says. You're beginning to strongly suspect he's not actually a stowaway. You hoist yourself back up to your feet. The stranger is standing on the other side of the stasis sack, his back turned towards you. Without hesitation, you reach out to grab his shoulder, and once again, your hand passes through him. Okay, so this is a ghost ship after all.
Great. Cool. Ghosts.
I'm not a ghost, child, the stowaway says, responding to your inner monologue for the third time today. This is merely a projection within your mind. I'm quite real, as you can clearly see. He gestures downward toward the stasis sack, and at this angle, you can better see its occupant. It's the stranger, dressed in military finery and sound asleep. You look up at his projection, who grins that same condescending grin, clearly delighted by your befuddlement. We're kindred spirits, you and I, he says. For years now, I thought I was the last, the sole survivor of the great post-war purge. I've led the kingdom from the shadows, forced to hide my existence from those who wish our kind harm. He gestures toward the robotic wreckage of the crew corridor just outside. Apparently not as well as I'd hoped, he says. Someone must have talked. We're only vulnerable when we're asleep. Otherwise, we'd see our assailant coming. I managed to project my consciousness beyond this room, only to find the rest of the crew similarly indisposed. When you awoke, I leapt into your mind, intending to take control of your body long enough to free myself. Imagine my surprise to learn that my new host is an astral, just like me.
Oh.
You take a large, wary step away from the stasis sack. You have nothing to fear, he says. Well, the ship is careening toward a black hole, which is certainly concerning, but you have no reason to fear me. He's telling the truth, partially. You catch a glimpse of another path. You're in a spacesuit, climbing along the outside of the RSS Radiant, a black hole swallowing the stars in the distance. A new seam of pain flares inside your skull. I remember when I awoke to my powers, he says. It's too much for the untrained mind to bear. You need my guidance. Release me from stasis, and I'll set a course for the throne station. Once I've dealt with whoever revealed my presence here to our assailants, we can begin getting your abilities under control. Another vision, another future. You stand on the marble steps of a grand palace at the stranger's right hand. You've become his apprentice, training rigorously to master the astral arts. Before you, the assembled might of the royal army stands to attention. Nobody, aside from your master, ever tells you what to do again. You despise the kingdom, and yet these powers desperately want to be honed. You know without a shadow of the doubt that this is the person to do it. I know your true feelings about the monarchy, child, he says. Do not let your prejudices guide you down an unwise path. Do we refuse the astral's offer and try to find a way to defeat him, or do we accept his offer and become his apprentice?
This feels kind of Sithy.
These are powers some consider to be unnatural. Yeah, there's something...
Feels a little evil.
Some oogie here.
We're gonna take this guy down.
Let's kick his can, shall we?
Let's kick his can.
Yeah, now that he's revealed that he's not hot future us, I think we can feel okay about beating him up.
Yeah.
Because my big question is we still don't know who did all this. And the most likely candidate is this guy.
Oh, yeah, maybe, how do we know that this isn't all part of his ruse to try and just eliminate us?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And as we know from our other experiences that didn't technically happen, this guy's a walking red flag. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And we learned very quickly to trust our gut.
We're gonna take this guy down.
Let's kick his can.
get kicked.
Back when you were preparing for your first stow, you learned a valuable piece of advice from the more seasoned Freenet users. There's no tool in a stowaway's kit more essential than a healthy skepticism of authority figures. You think of what the kingdom took from you, and anger floods your senses. You've had to work hard in the past to control that anger, to keep it from clouding your judgment in times of stress. In this moment, however, it's not clouding anything. Your anger has become a lens through which you see your situation with perfect clarity. You tell the astral to get comfortable. No matter how much power he promises, there's no way you're setting him free.
Loser.
Disappointing, his projection says, staring down at his own dormant body, but naturally, not surprising. You blink, and the finely decorated walls of the stateroom disappear. Snow begins to drift lazily from above, blanketing the lush, mossy forest floor that now surrounds you. The steady hum of the starship's engines is gone. All you can hear is the winter wind rustling through the pines. You look up and see the last remnants of sunlight trickling through the canopy above. In the distant sky, you see several dozen streaks of light descending, and you realize where you are, when you are. You're standing in the scene of your most irrepressible memory, frozen with heart sickness.
Oh boy.
This is the day Chorus, your home, fell to the kingdom. You're reliving the very worst day of your life. You turn to flail wildly, hoping you'll collide with some physical object in the stateroom and snap out of this illusion, but there's nothing there. You fall into a snowdrift on your knees and look back to the skies with dread. You remember what happens next. The Royals had a minimal presence on Chorus since before you were born. When the war started and their numbers began to slowly increase, they made countless assurances to the community. The kingdom was here for your protection. Lands would not be seized, customs would not be trampled. The sanctity of your way of life would be respected because that's what the king is fighting for. And one by one, those promises were broken in subtle, immeasurable ways. Curfews were inactive, public gatherings dispersed, borders established, dissidents removed. All for your safety, they said. You knew they were lying, absolutely everyone did, but you allowed yourself to believe that someone would do something before the kingdom's chokehold became absolute.
These guys.
And then, one day, the Royal Armada arrived in full force and conquered Chorus in the span of an hour. The first dropships arrived in the late afternoon. By sunset, the occupation was complete, and your lifelong home had become something completely unrecognizable. You looked to your leaders for response, but none came forward. It was too late. The moment you'd convinced yourself wouldn't arrive suddenly had. You know you're not really here. You're still on the RSS Radiant, still standing in the stateroom at the controls of the stasis sac. But you feel the winter's chill on your skin, feel the knot of terror as you watch the approaching ships. The distinction between reality and whatever this is couldn't be less important. It brings me no joy to do this, the other astral says, suddenly appearing atop a nearby snowdrift. Trapping your mind within its most painful memory is the act of a villain, I admit. I do not wish to harm you, but I need you to relinquish your body, and these are the tools at my disposal. Whew, okay.
Whoa.
Great.
Okay.
So we were put in astral stasis.
He's basically locking our mind in a prison of our own trauma until we agree to let him out.
Oh my.
Cool.
Yeah, great. Great move.
Yeah.
Lovely, attractive friend.
I think this guy sucks.
At what level do we get that move?
Hopefully soon.
It's actually a cantrip. We start with it. So
Yes.
just redirect it.
DM, I cast counter spell. Wait, so is that the end of that thread?
No, we've still got a ways yet to go.
Oh, wow.
There's more.
Okay, good.
You do not acknowledge him, but instead continue trying to break free of the illusion. You rub cold snow into your face, pinch your cheeks, fall straight backward to the ground. All the techniques you can think of to wake yourself from a bad dream. It doesn't work. With each passing moment, you're sinking further and further into your reverie. You're not going to be able to hold me off much longer, you know, the astral says. You've obeyed far too many of my commands since I found you climbing out of that stasis sac. Once you start doing what an astral tells you to do, there's really no way to stop. You feel your willpower waning, replaced by the familiar panic you felt the day Chorus fell. Why are you standing here? Your friends and neighbors need you. Thoughts from the past begin to intrude on the present. More and more of your awareness of the astral's illusion slips away. You can see the future, child, the astral says. Do you really see any outcome where you defeat me? You take a breath and close your eyes. You reach out across the manifold paths leading from this moment and see yourself struggling in countless ways to fend off the psychic assault. You scan eagle-eyed for the idea that would work. You find nothing. The astral is telling the truth. No matter what you do, you're not going to stop him from taking control. Royal soldiers emerge from the grounded dropships and begin pouring into the city square. A number of protesters attempt to block their path. Among their number, you see familiar faces. Dendrick, who owns the old sawmill, Lady Meyer from the sweet shop, Reshi, your troop leader from forestry camp. You remember muggy summer evenings, racing your friends to climb the timber piles while old man Dendrick cheered you on. You remember Lady Meyer dishing out free samples outside her shops. She had always favored you, sneaking you a few extra sugar drops while you visited. You remember Reshi leading your bunk in a fireside sing-along, his big, friendly bearded face illuminated by a swarm of passing firebugs. They disappear into the throng of soldiers, never to be seen again. And that makes you really, truly, deeply angry, momentarily bringing you back to your senses. You were powerless to stop the Royals from taking what they wanted on Chorus. Now, you have power aplenty. You're an astral. So, what can astrals do? Your mind races, trying to formulate a plan. You can witness the future, but you haven't been able to find a promising outcome so far. Maybe if you keep looking, a solution will reveal itself. But astrals have another power, the one the other Stowaway is wielding against you in this very moment. Your consciousness can leave your body, projecting outward to find another host. Theoretically. You haven't utilized this ability yet, but if you can figure it out, it just might be the only way to get out of this memory with your mind intact. You take one last look at Chorus, and then you make your move. Do we continue looking for a brighter future, Or do we push the limit of our newfound powers?
Push it.
Push the limit.
Let's get pushing.
Push it to the limit.
Push it real good.
We're no longer pulling on threads, we are pushing limits.
I'm gonna push the thread.
Okay, you decide it's time to jump out of your body. Now, how does one do that? You stand and begin doing some light stretching. You've never ejected your consciousness from your physical form before, and you don't want to pull a muscle.
That's wise.
Yes, don't want to pull a muscle, don't want to let anything with our IBS take control of our physical form while we are out doing other stuff.
Right.
The astral looks at you clearly confused. Then you bend down into crouch and launch yourself straight upward in a frenzied dramatic leap, and you fall to the ground, leaving a spectacular spread-eagle outline in the ankle-deep snow. The other astral clears his throat. What could you possibly be trying to do right now? You climb to your knees, punch back up into a crouching position. You spring like a mousetrap, like a cricket possessed, and you fall down again. Wait a minute, are you trying to project? Is that how you think this works, kid? You throw a wild-eyed gaze at the astral, a furious look of frenzied determination. And for just a moment, you see the astral's whole demeanor change. His concerned expression breaks through his whole smug, lordy vibe. He looks scared, because he knows you can actually do this.
Yeah.
As you piece that fact together, you start to feel a lot less silly about your attempts. You close your eyes and start rerouting the signals in your brain. There's no actual jumping necessary, you realize. You direct your brain signals away from your motor functions, sending them toward a different receiver entirely, something new. You take a moment to reflect on what a strange day you've had. Then you achieve a kind of enlightenment and become a being of pure conceptual awareness.
Let's go.
The woodland scenery from your memories fades away, leaving you and the other astral standing in a gray, empty void. You don't know where this is or how any of this works, but you know that the astral is frustrated by this development. Good. I like that. That is good.
Love it.
Well now, he says, that's terribly inconvenient. I'd hoped to trap you, keeping you prisoner in your own mind while I took control of your body. Can't have another astral out there romping around the universe, interfering with my grand designs.
I knew it.
But I suppose I can't stop you leaving now. He waves a hand at you dismissively. Be on your way then, he says. Roam the cosmos. Find a new body. Do as you wish. I'll catch you later. A pinprick of light takes form in the void, and through it, you see yourself, standing rigid as a board in the RSS Radiant stateroom. It's the strangest feeling, seeing your body, knowing it's you, and also not you. Transcendentalism is a trip. I mean, David Lynch would tell you that for sure. You also hear something through this gap in the gray void. A siren, faster and louder than the last, echoing through the stateroom door. The entire ship begins to vibrate. The fine decor arranged around the room begins to rattle off the walls. The other astral sees you hesitate, but doesn't seem to be aware of the commotion back in reality. Kid, he says, I told her to leave. His lips curve into a belittling smirk. And I told you, you say, returning his grin, not to call me kid. You soar upward like a rocket, through the pinhole of light, back to reality. You're weightless, intangible, hovering over your physical body as the ship shudders and groans. You see your eyes open as the astral takes control, and then immediately see him react with panic as you realize what's about to happen. With immense satisfaction, you fly upward, passing through the hull of the ship like a phantom, effortlessly gliding into the silent vacuum of space. You know you should keep flying, put a safe distance between you and the RSS Radiant, but you just can't help yourself. You turn to face the starless void of the black hole in the distance. The Radiant coasts into the ring of swallowed starlight surrounding the singularity, and then the ship begins to stretch. The nose cone goes first, elongating until the ship begins to resemble an enormous metal mosquito. Then the rest of the ship follows suit. The bridge deck, the crew compartment, the cargo bay, all stretched into microscopic beings of abstract matter and devoured by the whole. As the engines pass the threshold, a bright light flashes across the hull. The ship is exploding, but the explosion is stretching too, arranged into a single file line that chases the rest of the ship into oblivion. The RSS Radiant is gone. Everything aboard, including your physical body, has been reduced to subatomic spaghetti. Get spagat, Astral.
We got
Spagat.
And yet, you remain. You are essentially a space ghost, but you're still you. You don't have the slightest idea how to control your newfound powers, but that doesn't concern you much. The nearest space station is probably light years away, so you've got a long, long trip back to civilization to figure everything out. You take one last look into the singularity, then turn away, punching your translucent fist out in front of you in a superheroic pose.
Yeah.
Then you take off, streaking through the cosmos like a comet, weightless and unburdened. A helpless stowaway no longer. You are an astral, the last of your order. The end.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Wait, what?
There was a monologue towards the end there where I was just like, the wording was so good, and I feel like still approachable for like teen readers.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, just so good, so good.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow. So yeah, this is a good book.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Yeah. I want to keep going. I feel like there's more just like wholesome little stories within this, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we've still got, should we continue looking for a brighter future, maybe?
I feel like there is one.
Yeah.
There's some still loose ends, I feel like.
Right.
Because the crew just all died. I feel like there's got to be one version where we win this.
I feel like that was like a like so far our best ending.
Yeah.
And yet I feel like the ending may be connecting all of whatever we get.
Yeah.
Which I feel like the book kind of wants you to do that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like Griffin wrote 4 or 5 really awesome endings.
And we found all of them somehow so far. Okay, we're going to continue looking for a brighter future.
Cool.
You close your eyes and a web of potential futures unfurls before you. You scan them frantically, hoping to find some route that doesn't end right here and now, with you trapped in the Astral's illusion. You see yourself attempting so many different gambits, appealing to the Astral's mercy, trying to fight his projection, pretending to join the Royals, and see each strand, each possible future cut short mere moments from now. I told you, kid, the Astral says, you're not weaseling your way out of this one. It's the end of the line. And that's when you realize what you have to do. It's true that you can't win in a showdown against the other Astral. He's too clever to outwit, too practiced to outmaneuver. You're absolutely certain that there's no victory to be claimed here. You've reached a dead end. But what if you're not really here? What if this timeline is just one of many bad ends you've witnessed with your clairvoyant sight? What if you're not living this moment, but seeing it from some distant point in the past? The other Astral grimaces as this realization dawns on you. The scenery around you shifts. The towering pines are now ablaze, casting long shadows over the ruins of your hometown. He watches you expectantly, clearly hoping to hasten your psychological collapse. Instead, you turn to face him and shrug. This outcome isn't the one you want. You're going to find a better one. The end.
That is so cool.
I'm literally just sort of reeling at the idea that a being that can see multiple versions, multiple tangents of the timeline, they wouldn't be able to distinguish between like seeing a future and living in that future. They sort of live in it all at once, right?
Yeah, but then finding like in this moment we just got, finding how like even the bad stuff doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
This moment of like, I mean, yeah, I'm here, but I'm not actually here. Let me just live in one of these other better options. Like, it's so cool.
Now here's a very interesting thing. This is a The End page, but there is another prompt at the bottom of this page.
No way.
Of course.
It says, if you've learned all you can from your time on the Radiant, turn to page 64.
Okay.
I think we're getting close to the end of this recording, so why not?
Let's check it out. I'm positive there's plenty of other bad endings we could achieve, but
Okay. You all right there, kid? Your eyes shoot wide open, and you reflexively snap into a fighting posture, ready for the Astral's next assault.
oh my gosh.
Only the person who just spoke to you isn't the Astral. He's a young tattooed dock worker, the one who snuck you on board the RSS Radiant in exchange for the last few credits you had to your name.
Shut up, dude.
You're standing on a catwalk overlooking Star Harbor, surveilling the Radiant below. You haven't boarded, haven't slept through months of stasis, and haven't been cornered by the other Astral inside your most vulnerable moments. None of that has happened, yet you remember it with crystal clarity.
Dude.
I'm telling you, buddy, he says, casually leaning on the guardrail, this is the stove for you. Small crew, tons of hidey holes, fast as all get out. But it's up in 10, so if you want on, we gotta move nowish. You look at the dock worker, then at the Radiant, then back to the dock worker, a stunned expression plastered on your face. What could you possibly tell him? That you've just experienced a psychic awakening? That you've witnessed every possible outcome of your boarding that ship? That you'd rather not get body snatched, crushed by drones, flung into the vacuum of space, or sucked into a black hole? Thank you very much. You steady yourself on the railing, suddenly faint from the mental strain of foreseeing the many, many bad ends that await you aboard the RSS Radiant. You politely decline the dock worker's offer. He shrugs and begins walking back to the lift to the harbor floor, leaving you to process the ramifications of your newfound abilities. You will not board the RSS Radiant. The events you just experienced will not come to pass. And yet, you can remember them so clearly. You can still hear the siren rhythmically blaring down the empty corridors. You can feel the sting of the monitor drone's probe, the chill of the maintenance compartment where you dozed. And you can still remember the moment in the security substation when you realized your finely tuned intuition was, in fact, the power of the astrals, your power. And because you knew it then, during a future that will not come to pass, you know it now. A low horn blares from the harbor floor. The loading ramp of the Radiant slowly retracts, and the cargo bay door slides shut with a hiss. The ship rises, inches at a time, before its impulse thrusters ignite, sending it shrieking off toward its predestined demise. Somewhere aboard that ship, the other astral is sleeping, unaware that events have been set in motion that will bring his galactic reign to an end. You spare a moment of sympathy for him. After all, you wouldn't have realized the extent of your powers if he hadn't tried to eliminate you. Now, you know the nature of your gift. You don't just see the future, you can create it. You chase down the dock worker and inform him that you've decided to stow away on a different ship, a logging freighter bound for Chorus. The planet where you were born is still under a royal stranglehold, but that doesn't matter. The kingdom can't decide your fate for you anymore. Nobody can. You're going home. The end.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I'm not joking. I could cry a little at there was a moment there that was like, it was like not just a love letter to like role play, like TTRPG, but it was sort of like it was a thank you to like storytelling. Like the whole point of storytelling is like cautionary.
The beauty of possibility.
Yeah. And just sort of empathetically experiencing a story that's not your own.
Oh my gosh.
Becoming an important part of your perspective. I'm reeling. This was
insanely good.
I think my favorite thing about like picking up a new RPG adventure module is going into it knowing this is like a world full of potentiality.
Yeah.
That it's a world kind of encapsulated in this single frozen moment. And it has ideas of maybe how the story might progress, but until somebody actually steps into that world and inhabits it, there's no way of knowing where it's going to progress.
Yeah.
And we take that to kind of the nth degree with our improvised campaigns, where we step into it with no idea which path it's going to go down and any infinite number of ways that it could go, but we move forward and we end up with one of them.
Yeah.
That's, oh man, what a love letter to gaming. Just as a whole.
Yeah, conceptually so cool. The execution is as fun as it is empowering and fascinating.
Yeah.
I am such a fan of that. I think I'll very likely pick up a copy of this book myself just to have it and to revisit some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan.
Holy cow.
I mean, we only hit maybe like a quarter of the possible endings in this book.
Right.
I mean, granted, we somehow lucked into finding exactly the best possible route that we could have gone down, finding the code, then going back, then going to get like the true ending.
I agree.
Crazy. I was joking a while ago about like, hey, let's see what kind of rewards we get for role playing, for going like the option that pursues space burgers. And we got the code. We got answers to like where the crew is. Like, oh, it's so cool.
So everybody go out and buy this book, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was maybe a bit of a transcendental experience. Thank you, David Lynch. Thank you, Griffin McElroy.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, you are not the events of your current situation. You know, we're above that. You know, like I feel so much agency in I don't know.
That's hugely special. That like went so many more places than I was expecting. It went a lot of the places I was expecting, like the fun roundhouse kick moment.
Yeah.
Things like that.
The IBS.
But the philosophy of it is just so cool.
Yeah. And I'm excited for like the young teenager who's going to pick up a copy of this book and read that bit about like, we all sat around waiting for somebody to stop it, just trusting that somebody would step in, and nobody did because everybody was waiting for somebody else to do it.
This would completely alter high school me's life.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Like adult me is loving this and is very glad to have spent the evening exploring it with you guys. But high school me would have been permanently changed.
Oh man. So like, guys, you seriously buy a copy of this book. I just like flipped to a random page and one of the decision trees says to plead your case to the AI and beg clemency. Turn to this page.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
Yeah, everybody buy this book, read through it, and thanks for joining us here on Improv Tabletop today.
Holy crap.
It's been great. Thanks for joining us. I've been Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and today I've been joined by
Connor Wood. I contain multitudes.
Michael Sear, floating up high.
much love and stuff, everybody. We'll catch you next time on Improv Tabletop.
I think I'm a lizard. I think I'm a lizard because I like it hot. I like it really hot. I one time was a driver in Jackson for the city of Jackson.
Yeah.
And it was a miserable experience. All I did was like, I woke up at 4 a.m. and drove bus till like 10. Then I had 4 hours off, and then I drove bus again from like 2 to 6. That was my whole life. It was awful.
An entire winter shuttling hoity-toity rich people
Oh my
to
gosh.
a fancy ski resort.
And they were all drunk.
Oh, good.
They were all drunk. They weren't supposed to be on the bus drunk, but they were all drunk, all of them. It was a nightmare. I hated it.
Yeesh.
But I cranked that because I didn't have to pay a heating bill. I cranked that hotel heat to like 78 and loved it. And I'm always in sweaters. I'm under a heated blanket right now. I've got a space heater down here. Like, I think there's something wrong with me.
I mean, you're a lizard. You already answered
I'm a
it.
lizard.
This message brought to you by the Jackson Hole Tourism Board.